The last 10 months have seen Barcelona fail to go past the group round of the Champions League for the second time in that span. But the blog runners, they are not the only Spanish squad to have struggled in this competition. Additionally, Atlético Madrid and Sevilla were eliminated from the Champions League competition. The performance of Spanish clubs in the Champions League begs the question, what the hell happened? 1. Blaugrana nightmare. As a result of Inter's victory, Barcelona was knocked out of the Champions League for the second time. The widely criticised head coach, Xavi Hernandez, had some things to say after the team's game, which they lost 3-0 against FC Bayern at home. He said that the failure comes when you fail to strive and when you fail to fight, and I believe that we have handled the situation quite nicely. Even if we played better than Bayern Munich at their stadium, the end outcome was not favourable for us. And at that point you are aware of what transpired in Milan. The decision made by the referee had a significant impact on us. And then there's the fact that we weren't at the required level to take part in this competition in the first place. Case in point, it is fair to argue that Barcelona have improved a lot in La Liga with Xavi at the helm, but their European campaign has demonstrated that there are still chinks in the armour that existed before Xavi arrived. The 2003 to 2004 season was the most recent time that Barcelona competed in the UEFA Europa League. Now, the Blaugranas will compete in the tournament that is considered Europe's second level for the second year in a row. It would appear that Messi was not the issue after all. The Catalans' attempt to win recognition in Europe was unsuccessful for the third time. They were humiliated both on the road and at home while Xavi was in charge of the team, and they did not even make it to the round of 16 in either of the two UCL tournaments that they participated in while he was the manager. During the previous season, in the quarter-finals of the Europa League, fans were so upset with the performance of the team that they booed Sergio Busquets, who was the only veteran player to avoid receiving the majority of the criticism. We can only assume that Gerard Piqué will now have some company in the pariah role at the club. Regardless, Barcelona appeared to be a little stronger than they were the previous year. Their young players are making progress, and Xavi appears to have found some solutions in La Liga, but they will need to improve significantly if they want to regain their place among the elite teams in Europe. The Catalysts can at least take solace in the fact that they are not the first team from La Liga to be eliminated from the Champions League. 2. In a single moment, we went from heaven to hell. Atlético Madrid's match against Bayer Leverkusen featured some of the most tense and exciting stoppage time in the history of the UEFA Champions League. The score was deadlocked at 2-2 when the Colton Arrows claimed that there had been a handball committed. After consulting with VAR, the referee decided to give Atlético a penalty kick. If the Spaniard were to score, the team's chances of advancing to the round of 16 would be maintained. Nevertheless, the Carrasco, his penalty kick was saved, and when the rebound cannoned off the crossbar, it ensured that they would not advance in the Champions League. Atletico Madrid have been eliminated from the UEFA Champions League before the round of 16 for the second time since Diego Simeone took over as head coach, and they are having trouble performing well at the Wanda Metropolitano. Even the fantastic play of Antoine Griezmann is not enough to win this match. On the field, João Felix looked unrecognisable, and some people are even venturing the bold suggestion that El Cholo ought to step down. There is no question in my mind that I value this moment more than the one that I went through in 2011 when I first came, because the only goal is the expansion of Atletico Madrid. I would rather go through pain and adversity, even if it means that other people are upset, if it means that the club is successful. Atletico Madrid is not yet guaranteed a spot in the Europa League tournament at this time. They are now in third place, 1 point ahead of Leverkusen, and they will play their last group game away in Porto. If the Germans are victorious, Diego Simeone's team will have to win all 3 of their games in order to avoid ending in 4th place and avoiding an early exit from Europe. 3. The reigning champions of the Europa League have returned. The hopes of Sevilla qualifying had already been eliminated before the match had even begun. Let's be fair, they had a difficult group with Manchester City and Borussia Dortmund as the clear favourites. Plus, their start to the season has been horrible with 0 victories in 4 UCL games, and the worst start to La Liga in over a decade, forcing the board to part ways with Julien Lopetegui. And even though new coach Jorge Sampaoli has been a breath of fresh air and secured their first UCL win, let's be fair, they had a difficult group with Manchester City and Borussia Dortmund, as in their match against Manchester City, Dortmund settled for a draw despite their victory, sealed both sides qualifying, and now has the ability to sign Sevilla to 3rd place. Due to the fact that they have already qualified for the Europa League, the Spaniards will travel to Manchester the following week to participate in a meaningless match. As you are aware, the Europa League is the perfect competition for Sevilla to compete in. They have won a total of 6 titles, making them the undisputed champions of the competition. Were they purposefully unsuccessful so that they could compete in their favourite tournament? In light of this information, the exit of Sevilla does not appear to be as catastrophic as that of their domestic competitors. However, there is no question that they will face a difficult challenge because this edition of Europa League will see the return of European giants such as Manchester United, Juventus Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, both Roma and Arsenal will have another opportunity to hoist the trophy to their heads. A permanent presence is provided by Real Madrid. Only one side from La Liga will advance to the round of 16 in the UEFA Champions League. Barcelona if Atletico Madrid or Sevilla are unable to win the Champions League and their fans become impatient with them. Do they stand a chance of winning the Europa League? Please let us know in the comments whether you think Xavi and Simeone should continue their roles as managers of Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. It was mentioned previously in this video that the Catalan defender Gerard Piqué is the public enemy number one. Nevertheless, his hellish year may not be over yet, as Shakira finally exacts her revenge on her ex-boyfriend. We appreciate you watching. Thanks!